I would say that I'm the most supportive player on the team when it comes to make sure that things are gonna go the way they have to go. And I also play like I entry role many of the rounds on T side. There's many times when someone has to go first, it's me. So yeah, and this game on the shoe at least we're even joking on the team speak. It's like it's my lucky day. Like I had like one frag, so everything would go wrong in terms of getting the kills. But yeah, my role in the team is making sure that the plan is going to be well executed, making sure that I'm putting people on the best spots they can, and really being selfless as much as possible in terms of making the things that we want to happen. Basically, that's it.
Domestic
question,
matchups.
actually.
Oh, go on, Dan.
I have a question about. Yeah, good to see you again. What's up? I have a question about some of your overpass games. Yesterday, you had an overpass game against Heroic. It seemed like you guys kind of got maybe frustrated. You sort of couldn't get anything going on the T side. I'm curious what your takeaway was from that matchup.
We were giving too many entry kills on the way we're playing, and because they decided to play using connector and short clears very early in the games, and we are allowing that to happen and not really punishing it because of the way we opened and because of the way we played individually, the game got super hard. So basically, T side went south very quickly, and it was a tough game because of those things. So that's basically how the match went.
Got it.
Your game on Dust 2 versus 3D Max. Were, if you remember that, I know you're playing a lot of CS, so maybe it's not still in your mind, but that was really exciting. And your battle with Ecstasy Surround Long was, I think you really got the better end of that a lot of the time. That was really fun. But it seems like for a team to take you to the limit, they have to play really aggressive on maps like that. But what is that like for your team? Like a match like that where you're like the opponent's being really aggressive. There's like 3 CC standing in mid when you're on a T side. Like how difficult is that to deal with on Dust 2 and kind of find the information as to what's going on in the early rounds?
Yeah, 3D Max is such a unique team because they're going to play some hands that other teams doesn't. And then sometimes they're going to create problems because they are an aggressive team and they can be creative with the way they're going to display themselves. And then sometimes when you don't have the right answer, there might be some freezing regarding what the next move is. And that's when the round kind of gets harder. So I remember that round we were specifically talking about they're pushing up mid, and I think they're even mauling Moloboy on Suicide, right? Super fast. They were mauling him on that corridor super fast. And then from that point on, I don't think we took the best reactions. We froze a little bit on what we should be controlling. So adaptation sometimes might be something difficult to do against 3D Max because of the exquisite rounds, But it's fun to play them. They're very risk-taking, and they play super well. So it's very fun and it's challenging.
And one quick question for me as well is, of course, you guys are not in an environment like you might be at a major or some bigger tournaments where you're able to all be kind of in a room together. And for some teams, they've managed to kind of, be together, playing in a hotel room together so they're able to be in person with each other. How much does this impact the energy, and how does that maybe translate to issues with performance or not or struggles with getting to the performance that you want when you're playing online like this?
Well, honestly, for me, if you win, it helped. If you lost, it didn't help. It can go either way, I think this is a good question, but in the end, I think any answer is it really depends. Like we qualified for many tournaments last year playing online, everyone from their own home. And it's just that because we are from Brazil, when we have to play in Europe, me, Yuri, and Caserato are never at home, right? It's pretty much impossible. And now the only one who can really stay at home is Yakin there. Has a good ping and such. Molodoy has to go somewhere else because his ping is too high from Kazakhstan. So we're really never at home. That's the thing. And even though we have a second home here in Malta, and we have a great facility, and FURIA provides us the best possible structure here for us to play. For us, it's always very challenging. So to be in boot camp the whole year is impossible as well, right? So for us, it's either we're boot camping or here on the second home in Malta. And as you said, your question is whether does that help or not. I think it's not a factor. I don't think it's the main factor. It really depends on which moment of the team is, how well they're meshing together, and how well they're going to play. I don't think the location really is the main factor for anyone.
Last question from me. We have enjoyed Payne's games up to now here at ESL Pro League. I think it's been really fun to see them construct rounds. I think there are some similarities in pacing on their T side with FURIA as well. And I think they can do a good job of misdirection towards the end of a round and pulling that third CT away, as I like to say, from the correct bomb site. Although it was hard to enjoy Pain in this series because you guys were utterly dominating. But I got to say, the grenade usage was bananas, no pun intended, in that first game. I think you hit them with like every single grenade on Banana. It was crazy. But what is that domestic matchup like? I mean, I know when it's like, nation versus nation, I know it can get weird and you'll see each other more often than others. But I don't know if you have opinions on Pain at the moment. It seems that it is very difficult for them to play you at present. But I think outside of Furia, I think not only them as well, I think there are other teams from Brazil who are doing a really good job, but just interested in your opinions on Pain and also playing Pain from a Furia point of view.
Yeah, I have been watching some of their games, and I'm getting quite happy with their improving performances lately. And yes, they have beaten G2, for example, on some games, and I've been 3D Max, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, they played 3D Max, they beat 3D Max, they beat Passion Way, they beat G2, they beat FaZe. They lost for us in Aurora now recently. Yeah, I have been watching their games, and I think they're meshing well with the new players, and they have a lot of things to figure out. And when it comes to the Brazilian Derby, definitely there is a little bit more of pressure for the Brazilian players. Imagine you are VSM, you are like Period Junior, you were watching those guys play for years, and then it's your turn now to face them, right? And it might be a little bit harder because of the Brazilian nationality, because they probably watch us a lot. And then when it comes to the matches, because they don't have this amount of games played against us, maybe some thoughts are going to come slower, or some panicking is going to happen during the rounds. You never know. Only Pain can answer that themselves. But it's been promising to see them in the last games. I don't think they really showed their best today. But again, we really played a good game today on the defenses, mainly on Inferno. As you said, Caserato and Nick are always throwing a lot of grenades on their bodies, and we just really played well to these sides today and made it hard for them. And I felt during the match that they were, what's the word in English? Hesitating a little bit. Like there are rounds where the way we played made them suffer a little bit on the T side, and there was a little bit of confusion going on. But regardless, I think they're on the right path, and I'm cheering for them to go even further.
Anything else from you, Dan?
No, that's it. And it's just, thanks for your time. It's a pleasure to still see you playing and still seeing you do so well. So yeah, thank you for giving us those awesome games to watch.
I appreciate it, guys. Good to see you guys casting again. The double
Cheers,
is
buddy.
back. I have been watching and enjoying it. So hope to see you guys later again. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you.